Obviously, this is a video that has to go on fucking Patreon. Because, you know, dude, if I put this on fucking YouTube, man, like the censors' heads would explode. Yeah, it certainly would. But this is actually a serious topic. It's a serious topic because, see, you have to understand how not merely unrequited love, but unsatisfied lust can lead you down to all kinds of dark paths, because you will discover that there is something called, or that I at least call, the post-nut clarity. It's the clarity you feel after you've fucked a girl and come. Yeah, what happens is that, of course, after you've fucked some girl, after you've come, you are a lot more relaxed and a lot more clear. It's like all of a sudden, all your illusions about the woman you were with and the situation that you've gotten yourself into, insofar as the woman is concerned, or any situation for that matter, you become very, very clear. It becomes really like crystal clear what's really going on, and you also realize that the person that you're with might not be the best. In point of fact, a lot of times after you've come, you realize that the woman you're with is really inappropriate. She's certainly not the woman that you want to be with, not long term at any rate. Yeah, I mean, you were lusting after her so badly that when you finally fucked her and you finally came, all of a sudden it's like blinders fall off your eyes and you actually see the woman. Huh? And this happens to you, I bet, right? Well, here's the kicker. I mean, here's the thing that really, you know, see, fucking a girl, getting her into her bed, it's not that fucking hard. It's for the other things where you get the same kind of post-nut clarity. It's those other things that you gotta watch out for. Yeah, see, in our contemporary culture, you can fuck a girl pretty easily. I mean, if she's into you, you know, 2, 3, 4 dates tops, and you're gonna be banging her. And you're going to see who she really is, and you'll know if you're going to be with her or not. Back in the past, back in the good old days or bad old days, depending, right? Back when women held on to their virginity a lot longer, if not up until the day that they got married. A lot of guys wound up marrying some girl, and after they fucked her a few times, they'd been, you know, married to her for a while. They realized, holy shit, I don't want to be with this fucking person. She's awful. My lust blinded me. Yeah, that used to happen in the past. And those poor bastards would wake up one morning and realize that the chick that they were with was just not somebody that they wanted to be with. In our contemporary culture, this doesn't really happen because sex is so easily available. But the same thing applies for a lot of other things that you are lusting after. You're lusting after some job. You want some position. You want to accomplish something. Like in my case, like I wanted to publish a novel. I thought that if I publish a novel, I'd be fucking set. That being a novelist would be the greatest fucking thing ever. And when it finally happened, when I finally, you know, fucked it, as it were, in the sense of actually landing a book deal and getting it published, I realized, ooh, it's not really what I want. At least it wasn't at that time in my life. And I was sort of like stuck with that career. I was suffering a post-nut bout of clarity. After I had come, I realized it wasn't what I really wanted. And you see my point. This isn't really about sex, this video. Yeah, I know I fucked you guys over with a thumbnail, but it's really not about sex. It's about how a lot of times your desire after something, be it a woman, be it a job, be it a book deal, be it whatever the fuck, it can blind you, completely blind you. And then after the fact, you realize, holy shit, I'm not happy at doing this crap. I'm not happy at all. I'm not happy with this woman. I'm not happy with this job. I'm not happy with this deal. What I wanted, what I thought I wanted, is just anathema to me. This happens all the fucking time in your life. It'll happen so many fucking times that you will have built up something in your head and you figure that when you finally land it, ooh, it's going to be terrific. Because you see, it's a part of our innate nature. A lot of people criticize human beings for having the sunk cost fallacy. The sunk cost fallacy is, of course, that, you know, if you've invested some money or some effort into something or other, and it's not being successful, then you tend to invest more time, more money, more effort in order to sort of like recoup all the time and money and effort that you've invested. And you see, this comes from the evolutionary past. One of the things that few people know is that human beings are one of the few animals on the face of the planet that can run long distances. Yeah, run a marathon or a super marathon or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, like 100 kilometers and shit. Yeah. Human beings are one of the few animals. There are animals that are a lot faster, like the cheetah and whatnot, right? But human beings can run and run and run all day, not at a very fast pace, but relentlessly until they hunt down their prey. See? Because that's how it evolved. The guy who would run farther got to eat the rhinoceros or the woolly mammoth or whatever the fuck he was chasing. If he ran far enough and long enough and kept on investing and not brushing aside the amount that he'd run, but just kept on going at it, he would eventually get the woolly mammoth. He'd eat that night. You see? And that's how the sunk cost fallacy has been ingrained into our heads. And this is a terrible thing because it applies to the things that you want and then discover that you don't want them. And usually you can only discover it after you've nutted. Simple as that. Nutted literally or nutted metaphorically. And it sucks, but that's the truth. So you have to be very, very careful when you decide to invest all your chips into something, okay? When you decide that you're going to keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. See, the sunk cost fallacy is incredibly pernicious and it can drown you. And you have to understand why you have it, where it came from, which I've explained, and you have to understand how to control it. How to sometimes you have to stop and say, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to continue. Because you don't want to wake up and all of a sudden realize that you're with somebody that you kind of despise. Now, a caveat to this, okay? Don't fall for the habit of saying, oh, maybe, I'm not really going to like it, and so I'm not going to really chase it. I mean, don't use this that I'm telling you now as a rationalization to not pursue the things that you ought to be pursuing. See, a lot of guys do this. A lot of guys say, oh, it's not worth it. The fucking sour grapes story from Aesop's Fable. That's all you need to know. We human beings are fantastic at rationalizing. We're fantastic at the sunk cost fallacy for the reasons I mentioned, and we're fantastic at rationalizing why we're not going to do something. Okay? See, this thing of knowing what to pursue and when to back off and forget about it, it's a tricky thing. There is no algorithm for it. You only learn it by experience and developing good judgment and mistakes. That's the problem, man. You got to make the mistakes. You got to get the mileage in the engine to know when it's okay to keep on pursuing and when it's like, oh no, I'm gonna wind up hating this shit if I keep on going after it. A lot of guys, smart guys, they keep insisting or trying to insist that everything be an algorithm. That you just stick in the input here and the output comes over there and done. And no need for judgment, no need for subjective judgment or situational judgment. No. All of life is subjective judgment. All of life is situational judgment. You have to figure shit out when you're there. And you got to figure shit out whether it's worth it or not. And you're never really going to know until long after the fact. That's a fact of life. It's a fact of our existence. I mean, it would be so easy. It would be so much easier, man. For me, I could sell this fucking algorithm to you fuckers. Yeah, I charge you like $1,000 each, and I tell you, you use this algorithm, and every decision that you ever make will be perfect. Will be the optimal decision in every case. It's like this little black box that you put in the input here, and the output comes out there, and presto changeo, it's perfect every fucking time. But of course, I don't have such a black box. Nobody does. You gotta build the black box yourself, man. But anyway, going back to the original point of this video, the post-nut clarity. Yeah, it's only after the fact that you understand, see? So the issue becomes, of course, how do you get that experience? How to know whether to pursue the chick and bang her and think that you're gonna be probably happy with her, or not pursue her because you realize that you're going to nut in her and then realize that it was just a waste of time or that she's just a shitty person or whatnot. And the issue is judgment, experience, but also controlling your emotions, controlling your desire. I always say that the Buddhists are my fucking heroes in many ways. In many ways, they're kind of fucking awful, okay? I mean, people dress them up like the Dalai Lama and all those fucking people like they're fucking saints. They're not fucking saints, man. They're fucking really degenerate shitheads a lot of times. And you just read up on them and you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about the fucking Buddhists. I'm here to talk about their idea. the idea of detachment, of surrendering desire, because that's the whole basis of Buddhism, okay? The idea is that, see, all human suffering comes from desire. You desire something and you fail to achieve it. So if you eliminate desire, you eliminate human suffering. This sounds on prima facie kind of like bullshitty, but then you start to think about it, and they're kind of right. And you start to think about it a little more, and you realize that, yeah, when you don't want something, that's the state you want to be. Just like pursuing the things that you want on a macro level, but not worrying about the day-to-day, not worrying about every little fucking thing, just letting it flow, letting it happen. And not getting desperate, and not allowing your hope, because ultimately that's what it is, hope. Not allowing your hope to overwhelm you and blind you. Because that's what happens, see? Desire blinds you. Desire, wanting something, wanting a woman, wanting a career, a position, whatever, it blinds you. You can want a deal so badly that you'll do anything to get it. And then once you have it, you're like, what did I do? A lot of times too, you can want something so badly that you figure, oh, I'll just break this rule, I'll break this law, just this one time. It's not going to be that bad. And then you break it and you get caught, and the consequences are far worse, or they're catastrophic for your life. Huh? You have to think about that. You have to think about whether it's worth it. You know, that saying is juice worth the squeeze? Same thing. Same. It's only once you've nutted that you have that clarity, unless you control your desire. So learn to control your desire.